filming this at like 10:30 at night because I had nothing else to do at this point. So I was like, hey, why not film a story video? So today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time the doctor put me on a battery of tests to find out I had a sinus infection. You heard me correctly. I had to get like 5 tests done just to find out I had a sinus infection. So you're probably wondering how that happened, so I'm gonna tell ya. So yeah. So without further ado, we are going to get into that. So I apologize about my hair. I am just a mess of a human. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into that after I fix my hair. So here we go. Oh. Okay, hair's fixed. We're gonna get into this. So we're gonna have to go back in time to about April 25th. So this was 2 days before my senior prom. I had my date, I had my plans, I'd gotten my nails done and a spray tan done a couple days before, and I started feeling a little off. I was like, okay, it's probably just allergies, because normally around that time is when allergies really just kick in and my body just starts kind of just like shutting down. Or like just me feeling like total crud. So yeah, I wasn't feeling the best. I get to the day before prom. My body hated me. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was running myself ragged. The week of prom, I was running myself ragged. And I wasn't feeling super great. I went to school. That just exacerbated it. It made it worse. I also had gym that day, and I tried to not do gym because I wasn't supposed to sweat for 24 hours. I was supposed to sweat for like 12 to 24 hours after my spray tan, so I was trying really hard to not to. I did lift a little bit. Wasn't too much, but that's not the point. I still felt off. I still felt kind of funky. So I called my mom. I called my mom after school, and I'm like, hey, Mom, is there something I can take so I can feel better because I don't want to miss prom tomorrow? She's like, yeah, we'll put you on something and you'll be fine. I take a cold tablet because we thought I had a cold. We thought I just had a cold. I wake up the next morning, my nose is stuffed up, I have a headache, I have a terrible headache, like a really bad pressure headache, and I'm coughing. I'm coughing a lot. And it was the day of prom. I was like, okay, I'm not going to bail. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that to him. I wasn't going to do that to my date. Oh, excuse me, I've been coughing. But I wasn't going to bail on my date. I wasn't going to do that. Sorry, my blanket's dumb. Whatever. There we go. I'm also filming on my bed, so yeah. But I was not feeling the best. And I was like, okay, I'm just not going to bail. I'm not just going to bail on him. Like, duh. I wasn't just going to bail. So I take another cold tablet. I keep some in my bag with me that I took with me to prom, and I start sort of feeling a little better now that the day's gone on. I drank a lot of water. I was trying to feel better. I get to prom. We're screaming. We're yelling. We're vibing. We're having a super fun time. And then my voice is almost gone. My voice is pretty much almost gone. Because we had left prom at 11. We killed about an hour. Because after prom didn't start till 11:45. So we kill about an hour. We go back to after prom. I'm trying to just talk. I can't talk. It's scratchy. It's coming out super weird. You can kind of make out what I'm saying, but not really. Like, my voice was almost gone at that point. My voice was almost gone. I was like, okay, this is not good. Because I had choir competition the following week. I had my senior night performance for choir, and then I had I had my final competition, and then I had senior performance. I had it mixed up in my head. And after prom, I was still sick. I was sick for that entire week, and then I got to the week of the concert, and I was still sick. I was sick for that whole week. I was sick for about another 2-3 days, and even my English teacher told me I sounded really sick. Like, I wasn't feeling good. She's like, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, okay. So I text my mom. I'm sitting in class. I'm not feeling great. I feel like total crud. And my mom's like, okay, you've been sick for like 3 weeks now. Like, you need to get checked out. I'm like, okay. She's like, I'll make you an appointment for today. We'll call you out of school. And we're like, okay, cool. So I went down to the nurse, got a pass to leave school early during first period. During first period, I got a pass to leave early. I went home for a little bit, and then I had to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor by myself, and this wasn't the doctor I usually saw. Like, my usual doctor couldn't see me, so I went to the pediatric department because I was technically still a kid at the time. I was 17, which means I couldn't deny treatment. If I didn't want to do something, I couldn't say no. So, and my mom couldn't be there because she was at work. So the doctor comes in, she takes a look at me, she looks at everything, she looks at my nose, she looks at my throat. My throat's like swollen or red, so her first thought was streptococcus or strep throat. So she's like, okay. She's like, how long have you been sick for? I've been sick for like 3 weeks, maybe. I think it was like 3 weeks I was sick. And she's like, okay. She ran a throat swab on me. She had me do the urine test. She thought I could possibly be pregnant, so she ran a pregnancy test. That obviously it was going to come back negative. I knew it was going to. She had me do a chest X-ray, and then she also had me do blood work. She's like, because you were sick for so long, we want to do blood work just to make sure everything's on the up and up. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, I do not want to do this. I'm terrified of needles. I know I couldn't have done it. So I'm like calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to do this. She's like, well, okay, we'll send your grandpa down there and we'll make sure you're okay. She knows how bad my anxiety gets when it comes to needles. So she sends me over to the lab, which is at the hospital, which the clinic is like connected to the hospital. That's a whole thing. But I go into the lab, they do chest X-ray, and then they have me go do blood work. It took the nurse like 5 minutes to get my vein to bulge. Because if you haven't had blood work done before, they have a thing wrapped around your arm to get your vein to bulge out so they can find it. It took her like 5 minutes to find it, and I was freaking out. I was having a massive anxiety attack. I'm not gonna lie, but she hit my vein in my arm. She got it in there. I'm like, oh my god, can you just get this to be over, please? Because I was freaking out. She finally gets it done. She unhooks it. She takes the needle. She caps the syringe with my blood in it. She takes the needle out of my arm. She wraps my arm up, and I'm like, dang it, I don't want to do that. I'm like, I didn't know how to do that. And they were like going to call my mom with the test results in a couple of days because it was going to take a couple of days to come back. So my strep test ended up coming back negative. They did what was called a rapid on it. They did a rapid test to see what was going on. That comes back negative. My urine test comes back negative. My chest X-ray came back negative. And then my blood tests, everything came back within normal levels. Everything was normal. She's like, oh, and then I was told by the doctor that I had a sinus infection. And I was like, you couldn't tell that just from looking up my nose. Just, oh my god. And then I was on antibiotics for like 2 weeks because of how it had gotten. I'd be on antibiotics for longer because we didn't catch it early enough. Because I don't know, my doctor explained it weird. If you can catch it early enough, you can be on antibiotics for less time. I was on antibiotics for how long was it? Like a week. If we would caught it early enough, I could have been on it for like 3 days instead of having to be on it for a week. And the pills were big, like ginormous. They were like this big and like that wide. It was so bad. I hated having to take them. And I had to make sure I had food in my stomach before I could take them, which stunk. I hated it so much. But I ended up getting better. I ended up feeling better as the time went on. But so yeah, that's the story of the time. That's kind of how my doctor ended up giving me a bunch of tests I didn't need, and then me finding out I just had a sinus infection later on. So yeah, that's my story. If you guys like that, if you guys want to hear more stories from my crazy life, please like this video, give this video a big old thumbs up, comment below what other videos you want to see, and subscribe to this channel. So I will see you guys next time. I'm sorry, my nose itches. But that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!